Thank you. I rise to support the petition by Governor Sang. Mr. Speaker, sir, one of the things that really baffles me is the first government of this Republic of Kenya. It actually makes the colonial government look like philanthropists. If you look at the issues that have been raised by Governor Sang, one of the things that really bothers me is the role of ADC and the land which is still owned by ADC. Mr. Speaker, sir, if you go out there and ask the poor people who live in Nandi or even in Masai land if they know anything about ADC, they will just tell you ADC is a government state agency that was formed to enrich a few people. I remember a few years ago, Mr. Speaker, sir, there was a case where it was alleged that the former powerful minister Nyachai bought over 17,000 acres of land from ADC at a cost of 343,000 shillings at the expense of the poor Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, sir, I don't think there is any reason to deliberate further on this matter. ADC is dead as an institution. In Laikipia, the Samburu land, which is now managed by ADC, is taken by powerful individuals. In Nandi, there is no reason as to why Kenyans should be suffering and living up in the cliff. In fact, Mr. Speaker, sir, one of the recommendations that maybe this Senate should sit down and really highly consider is a proposal that that land, which is owned by ADC, be subdivided and given to those poor Kenyans who are living up the hills. These corporations were set up to advise us on the best practices in dairy farming, the best practices in beef production. But you go to those farms now. Most of them are owned by former powerful people who made up the successive governments. So in the committee that should be looking at that petition by Governor Sang should extend their finding in knowing how many people own those ADC lands and what acreage, so that poor Kenyans who have now turned themselves into squatters can be given an opportunity to also live a life like every other person. Mr. Speaker, sir, COVID-19 showed us one thing, that it doesn't matter the amount of money you have. We are all equal. So what we need to do is to find a way, and this Senate must now rise up to the occasion and find an opportunity to defend those poor squatters who are made squatters by our own governments. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.